Families come in all different sizes.
I have 2 siblings and they're both brothers.
I have 3 siblings.
It's just the 2 of us.
I have no siblings. I'm an only child.
But imagine if the number of brothers and sisters you had wasn't really up to your parents, it was up to the government. Well, over in China, that's how it's been for decades. And it all started with a plan known as the one-child policy. In the 1980s, China's government made it illegal for most people to have more than one kid. It was worried about its fast-growing population that was close to hitting 1 billion people, and whether there'd be enough food, resources and jobs for everyone in the future. People that did have more than one kid were slapped with really big fines, or other punishments if they couldn't pay up.
They'd have their house pulled down. If they didn't pull down your house, they'd take away all your timbers and horse carts.
While the one-child policy did help to slow down population growth, it was a pretty controversial move because choosing how many kids you want is generally considered a basic human right. It also contributed to some other problems. Most people in China wanted to have a boy because culturally they were seen as more valuable to the family. And to this day, there are more men than women in China. But another problem started to grow from the plan. While the People's Republic of China is far from short on people, it is short on young people. While that might mean more lovely afternoon games of croquet, it's not so lovely for a country's economy. For example, you need young people to get jobs, earn money, spend money, and have kids that can eventually do all those things too. And young people can also help to look after older people. That's why in 2016, China's government scrapped the one-child policy in favour of 2 children. At first, there was a jump in births. But then, a year later, it dropped again. Now, with China's ageing population at a whopping 1.4 billion people, the government's decided to up the number of kids per couple again to 3. But the big question is, will people take up the offer?
I think only super rich families might have the aspiration because they have more money to raise children.
Now, I'm the only child in my family, and I really hope my parents can give birth to a younger brother or younger sister.
That's why China's government says it's going to help by cutting the cost of education and housing and educating young people on marriage and love, whatever that means. But only time will tell if it's enough to convince families to add another sibling to their gang.
Stop fighting.
Something these kids say can come with its own set of problems.
When your parents aren't home, you have to look after them and keep them accountable.
We might get into fights every now and then. Yeah, definitely.
I never really get my own time, but sometimes I can. Like when I'm sleeping, at least they're not jumping on me.
But it's really fun because there's someone always to hang out with, and it's like you're never alone and you never get bored in the house.